Hello. If you are new here, welcome or welcome back. I'm Chardeney, and today we are going to be getting into the details of this leather handbag that I made. And y'all, I cannot believe I made this, but yes, this video is proof that I indeed made this. And it's actually funny because when I finished making this, I showed my mom and she was like, girl, bye. Okay, she could not believe that I made it, and to be honest, I actually couldn't believe that I made it. And I think I actually like this more than a designer handbag, and I feel like this is something that I would cherish even more simply because I made it. And you know what, y'all know that new car smell, that scent? This has that fresh leather smell. I didn't even know leather had a smell, but let me tell you, this smells like money, okay? And I've been dropping sneak peeks of this project over on TikTok, my Instagram, so if you aren't following me yet, be sure to follow and subscribe because I share previews of what I'm working on over there and also here on YouTube in the community tab. But before I get into the details of this project, I have to tell you, who knew? I certainly did not know that this whole sewing thing would get out of hand for me. Like, I've purchased so many patterns and fabrics since my first make. Like, y'all, I just got more and more excited about all the things that I would make, and I did not know cutting up pieces of paper and stitching up fabric would get me this excited, and it would bring me so much joy. Like, now I understand why most sewists are low-key hoarders. It's no judgment, but it's the truth. And listen, now that I'm into this craft, I get it. I'm definitely going to start keeping a sewing journal to help keep me more focused with my sewing projects and to document the process so that way I don't get ahead of myself and just get overly excited about the possibilities of everything that I make. So I think having a sewing journal will kind of keep me on track with my projects, because let me tell you, as I've been looking for more projects to get into, I feel like Barbie. Just looking for different outfits that I can make for different occasions and things that are coming up. I'm also someone that when I decide to get into something, I'm like, where are my people at? Where is the rest of the sewing community at? And I actually came across a local sewing studio in my area, and I was able to check that out. I'll share more about that in another video, but I highly recommend whatever type of creator you are, find your tribe of people that are into whatever it is that you do, because you'll be surprised at what you learn. Like, even in this short amount of time, I've already learned just so much, and I'm just really happy that I've been finding more people within this sewing community. But also, as I was going down my rabbit hole of getting inspiration of stuff to make, I came across Babylon Leather Company, and I fell in love with their bags, and I was like, I have to have it. I absolutely have to have it. So I reached out, and the folks over there were kind enough and gracious enough to send me this bag and also a leather headphone case to make, which I'll be showing in a sew-along video in a bit. But I was just super ecstatic that I came across this company, and I have to admit, I was a bit intimidated when I first checked out their website, because I was like, there is no way all these are beginner friendly. But let me tell you, okay, when I got this bag, from the point that I reached out to the time that I received the items, the shipping was super fast, the communication was very straightforward, and this leather is top tier. It's top tier because when I went to go visit my friend and I showed them, I was like, look y'all, look at this bag that I made. My friend was like, oh my goodness, this smells so good. Okay, like, I cannot believe, like, first of all, they give you everything that you need inside of the kit to make the bag. So I felt really confident about putting this together. You know how sometimes you get projects and you're like, oh, I gotta go out and get this. Like, you might have to go get batteries or whatever the case may be, like just extra items. No, they sent everything that you could possibly need inside of this kit. and I believe it took me about 3 days to put this together. I probably could have done it a lot quicker if I didn't have other stuff going on and I wasn't in the midst of traveling. But listen, each stitch, I just kept getting more and more excited because I kept thinking of all the outfits I was going to wear with this bag and just different things I can pair it with. And I even started thinking about, you know what, this would be a great activity to do on my next girls trip, or this would be a great gift to give to one of my other friends who are into sewing. Because actually while I was there, my friend, she was like, oh, you should make me this for my birthday. And I think instead of me making items for my friends, I think that this will be a cool gift that I could just give to them and they can make it themselves. And it's something that I think is convenient to do, and it's definitely beginner friendly. I even finished up part of this bag while I was in the airport, and this project just helped the time go by so fast during my layover. And I think that this craft just got me really excited about making more stuff. I think I'm having such a positive start on my sewing journey because I'm starting with projects that are beginner friendly and projects that I will actually wear and use. So I'm going to stop talking and rambling about how much I love this bag and also this craft that I'm getting into, and jump into the sew along so that way you all can see the details that went into this project. So let's get into it. Now, before I show you all the next step, I'm going to jump ahead here and go a little bit out of sequence, and it'll all make sense. But as you are prepping and threading your needles, if you are familiar with hand stitching, traditionally you would thread the needle by having a double thickness in thread, making sure the thread is even on both sides and tying a knot at the end of the thread. For this project, that's what you don't want to do. So I'm just demonstrating what it would look like if you thread your needle the traditional way versus what the stitching will look like if you thread it as the instructions provided. With the instructions provided, they have you thread the needle on both ends of the thread so the thread has a single thickness. You'll pull one end of the thread through the hole just enough to rethread the needle through the tip. Because this thread is thicker and has a waxier material, it'll create a thinner knot in the middle of the thread as opposed to at the end of the thread. So for this project, you want to make sure you're using the double needle method, making sure that on both ends of the thread, there's a needle present and that the thread is long enough to go around the entire section that you're sewing. So now the thread is ready to use. I initially got ahead of myself with the instructions and threaded the needle the traditional way, and this is how it turned out. You will see the thread looks a bit bulkier compared to if the thread is done as instructed. Basically, as long as you follow the instructions provided, you should be fine. You can see how much neater the thread looks once I stitched it as instructed. And thankfully, it was easy to remove the thread without damaging the leather. So with the next step, you probably already have an idea of what you will need to do based on the example I previously showed you in the thread example. But I'm just resharing this step in case you missed it. once you get to the step where you're attaching the handles, you're kind of at the home stretch of putting this bag together. So once this process started to get a little bit repetitive, I just took this project to the couch, so that way this was something that I can kind of do as I was watching TV. Here's the finished look. I'm just adding the accessory they sent over with the bag. This is completely optional, but I think it's cute depending on what you wear with this bag. So that's all I have to share. If you're thinking about sewing up a leather bag for yourself or to give to someone else, consider using my affiliate link and discount code upon checkout. I've included all the details in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye.